Good morning, Muscatine. Got an amazing weather report for you. The other Chris Anderson says it's going to rain. So just in case you were wondering, in case you didn't check it out, it's going to rain. Halloween is apparently one of Muscatine's favorite holidays. We've talked about, we created that discovermuscatine.com/Halloween because everybody wanted to know what all was going on. There was like 25 events at the start of the season. With a week or so to go, there's still like 15. And you can just go Halloween, boom, here's like literally everything going on. We do have to update the address of the one at Krieger's, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm lucky to have with me today what I'm going to call the godfather of Halloween in Muscatine. That's Godfather, the maestro, the granddaddy? I don't know.
That's gotta be the first time I've heard that.
Well, you are. I mean, for those of you that don't know, this is Troy Stinky Philpott, who has done Stinky's House of Horrors for...
This will be the actual with the name and being a food drive. It'll be like the 13th or 14th year.
I was going to say, it's almost as long as I can remember, right?
Yep.
And so if you would, introduce yourself for those that don't know you, and a little bit about what started all of this 13, 14 years ago, because it's a great story.
Well, my name's Troy Philpott. Everybody calls me Stinky.
And we won't get into that.
Yeah, it's a play on my last name.
Yeah.
Our haunt started just basically more from a Halloween party. And like 19, 20 years ago, the very first haunt before it was a food drive was a big pile of bales of hay. We had them for the party the night before. Halloween came that next night. We stacked them all up, and they didn't pick them up right away. So we separated them. We threw a tarp over them. I dressed in my costume. 4 foot wide, 10 foot deep, and I just sat in the back dressed up, and my mom sat outside handing candy out, and if any little kids wanted to look inside the little tunnel, that's it. And that was technically the very first haunted house we ever did.
Right. And so then how did the food drive portion come in?
For years, we, in the racing community, we always tried to raise food for the Freezing for Food campaign. Mm-hmm. And we'd always challenge each other, hey, donate that many pounds, whatever your race car number was. Your number 100, you get, can you donate $100 to it, or can you donate things? But then you had one guy that was number 1, and then another guy was 100. It's like, that's not quite fair. But
who cares, right? You're donating food, right?
Yep. Hoppy Hopkins really got into us, help us out, advertising, hey, these are the guys, I know these guys, and, he used to go to the races, and it was always doing it. Well, after knowing we're doing that and we were already having a haunted house that wasn't a food drive, and my buddy Sean and me were just sitting around, and just one day it popped up, I was like, we're doing a lot of work for this for, just for nothing, do you think people would be willing to donate some food? We're just like, I think so. I think it's a great idea,
Absolutely.
And we talked to a few other people, like, go for it. Yeah. And the very first year we did it, we got like one or two totes of food, and we're taking pictures with them. I mean, we're the greatest thing. We got maybe 60, 70 pounds of food, man.
Right.
We're heroes. We're taking all these pictures. And the next year, we're sitting there, and that same year, we were having to coax people. I was down on the front trying to beg people to come through,
right.
Hey, get some, go to the store, get some food, come back. And they wouldn't have, and it's like, I'm not looking up my stairs and there's some creatures out front, tell them to come up the stairs. That ain't gonna happen.
Well, so actually we should take a quick step back. Tell folks where this is so that they can really picture this. Chris, can you actually bring up that picture we have? It'll be on the screen, it won't be on there, but bring up that picture of where Stinky's House of Horrors is. But
okay, well, on the front, it's on 911 East 11th Street, which is from the sidewalk to the top of the hill, I think is 35, 40 foot. So it's got...
Yeah.
dark stairs all the way
so
to
it's
the top.
like right as you're going up 11th Street Hill.
Yep.
It's
Right off Isaac.
right off Isaac. You know, you kind of like you've gone down past Hines and you turn up 11th to go to Mulberry.
Yep.
And then you know how like you're going up a hill and then there's an even bigger hill kind of off to the right.
Yep.
That's where it is.
Yep. And it, you know, when you're telling people, I mean, we were stopping cars. Say, come on up, you know, and they're like looking at some creature, telling them, hey, go up these stairs. No way.
Yeah, this sounds like a really bad horror movie.
Yes. And well, then we got a little bit of advertisement that next year.
Yep.
And we're setting up in the house. We're about ready. Okay, let's go start trying to coax people up there. And we hear a knock on the door. We didn't realize how much advertisement really meant, you know, at that time. So we go to open the door. There's like 100 and something people lined up at our door all the way down those stairs. We're like, uh-oh. We start putting food. We got this little porch on the side of the house that was not very well built.
Right.
We're stacking food on, and after a while, it's creaking and it's starting to bow.
Oh.
Like, okay, we got to stop for a minute. So we start loading all this stuff up, taking it inside, trying to find a place to put it because we did not plan on it going over so well. And
nice
so,
problem to have, but it's still a problem.
It's a very problem. If we would have continued like we were doing, the porch would have collapsed with food. I mean, it's a cool thing. Hey, we collapsed the porch. We raised so much food.
But it's still a collapsed porch. Right.
But that's kind of how the whole thing started from the very beginning, and it's grown ever since.
It has. And you know what I love about this is like it's kind of one of those often imitated, never duplicated things in this town, right? Like, you know, there's a lot of smaller ones that happen here and there, and which is great. Like, I mean, it's you always need all these other events.
The more the merrier.
Absolutely. But it's also great to have this like anchor thing that is Stinky's that we all know.
Right.
I don't know if it's the best haunted house within 50 miles, but I'd probably put money on it.
Yeah, for the price, yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely for the price, yeah. And so, like, when do you guys start working on this?
We kind of really don't ever stop working on it. We do little things here and there, but when we start hitting it hard is probably about 2 months before Halloween.
So what does it take to put on something like this? Like, how long is the walk through the haunted house usually? And then, like, how many people does it take? Like, because it's a lot more than you think it is.
Yeah, it takes at least, I'm going to say 10 minutes to walk through it. And it's not like, you know, where your rooms where you have mazes where you'll get lost in it or anything. We tried that once, and it was a maze that had like 2 wrong corners, and that was it. And it clogged up so bad that there was people waiting out, and it kind of, okay, it's like, we can't do a maze anymore, not for this. But it takes about 10 minutes. Sometimes if you're walking slow, maybe 12. It's a straight shot all the way through, good clean pass, tell you which way to go. It goes through right around 8 to 10 different, not buildings, but different
almost like scenes.
Yeah. Yes. You know, sometimes there's a slide into the basement. Sometimes you're going the opposite direction, and there's stairs there. You walk up out of the basement. We don't do the stairs. We don't walk down the stairs. It's just too much of a danger thing. So it's always either you're walking up with the railing or you're sliding down on a slide. But we normally have between 20 and 30 actors in it. We used to have almost 37, 40 people all together running it, but we got rid of 2 rooms because it used to run through my kitchen and my dining room, my living room, everything, and I quit doing that. So,
yeah, we don't need to go through the house.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
When you have to, that's great, but then it's kind of nice to have your own
I started
kitchen.
building more outbuildings and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, did you catch what he said there, folks? He builds outbuildings for the haunted house. Like, that's the level of this thing.
Oh yeah, we used to use, you know, just like anybody, you know, we used to use tents and stuff like that. Well, we had tents blow away, and it was hard to decorate. You couldn't hang anything on the walls. So as we progressed, we get rid of one tent, build a building, get rid of another tent, build another building. And now we use 3 buildings, the garage, and the basement are the two main buildings that we actually use that are decorated up.
That's awesome. So how much food does this bring in?
I would say we average between a normal average between 5,000 and 7,000 pounds in one night.
Yep.
In about a 4-hour period.
Right. So, folks, here's the thing. It's hard to, I for a long time, I had a hard time converting pounds of food into like what it looks like or like how much food that really is. Okay, so for scale, when we do freezing for food, you would pull up on, usually it was Thursday afternoon, right? And describe to people what you would pull up with.
We would normally pull up with like a flatbed dually with between 4 and 6 pallets full.
Yeah. So like we're talking either a trailer and a dually, like we're talking something that takes, usually we would have.
One year we did have to have we filled a dually, and we had to get like a 6-ton trailer just to put all the food
stuff
on it.
Yeah.
So we got some pretty big corporate donations that year.
Yep. And so like when he comes pulling up, because this is kind of the cool thing. This is what I love about it is like freezing for food started 20-ish plus years ago, between Krieger's and the radio station and Hy-Vee and, that whole group. And, there's the toy drive, there's the food drive, the 2 Weeks of Love thing. Obviously, Tantera was a part of that, providing the Hawkeye Holler in all those early years. And it just sort of like became the holiday food drive thing, right?
Yep.
Like, and it was great because it all worked super, super slick. But what I love about how you did this is it's called Frightening for Food. And you just tagged in to the thing that already existed.
Yep.
You put your spin on it, and you worked with the groups that were already doing this stuff while still doing your own thing. And I love that because it's so easy, when you want to do something like this, you kind of want to own it because you want to be able to do your thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And not have to worry what everybody else thinks, which is good, right?
Yep.
But you also don't want to step on toes and you want to work with and you guys found a tremendous way to do it because, then we can start talking about freezing for food in October. So folks, don't forget, freezing for food is the week after Thanksgiving. We'll be out at Hy-Vee. Matt and I actually tried to talk about it yesterday, but I was busy. And, so it's crazy. You start here at Halloween, right?
Yep.
Then we actually take a little bit of a break through Thanksgiving, but then, right after that, first Friday in December is Jingle and Mingle, the holiday stroll down here. Then we roll right into freezing for food, which you tag right back into with bringing all this stuff out. And then we roll from Hy-Vee over and Fairway and wherever all over to Krieger's for the toy drive. And it's just like this, 10-week period where people can contribute and be a part of the community, and it actually accomplishes something.
Yeah.
And when folks, you go back and look at some of the freezing for food videos, there's one where we filmed him pulling up, and I was so disappointed last year. Like, I was mad at him. So like 2 years ago, he pulls up. That was the year, I'm pretty sure that was the year you had to bring the trailer and everything else, right? And it's a Thursday at noon thing. That's what it was for I don't know how long, right?
Right.
So I called you like on, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, and I'm like, just, hey, making sure. He's like, well, we already took it all down. We didn't want to have to move it twice. And I'm like, what am I going to do Thursday afternoon now? Come on. What are we going to do? But no, I mean, and that's great. I mean, like, it's gotten big enough, like, you don't want to move it twice because it was a ton of food. Actually, several tons, actually.
Yeah.
But so now the frightening for food part, can they bring food beforehand?
We started the food drive yesterday.
Right.
And we're going to be out every night from 10 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, collecting food. We do have like different things, like, because if you show up with a can and you're waiting in line, it's very possible you can wait for hour and a half waiting in line.
Right.
We have an express pass, which is 24 cans of food. You can bring it now, anytime, today, tomorrow, early Saturday. Drop it off. We'll give you an express pass, and whenever time you show up, you just jump right in the express line, walk right past the line, and go right in for 24 cans.
It's like a fast pass at Disney.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, I was literally just talking to Tony Tone this morning. We're actually going to do some of that stuff at Jingle and Mingle. So when they get their pictures taken with Santa and pictures taken with Anna and Elsa and all that other stuff, we're going to do that same kind of a thing where RSVP so we know you're coming and do that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so that you can do that, because you're right. I've seen the line at your place. I mean, it's, a 24, so that's like a case of peas or beans or whatever, right?
Yep.
I mean, geez, what is it? Probably $10 to buy,
Yeah, if
10,
that,
15, So stop out, see Matt Schweitzer at Hy-Vee, or any of them at Hy-Vee. You don't have to look for Matt, obviously, but.
I was gonna do that. I couldn't find Matt anywhere.
Yeah. No, but go out and just say, hey, I need to get a case of something, right? And they'll direct it. And they also know, here's the nice thing about this. Hy-Vee, and actually all the grocery stores in town, but Hy-Vee has done a really good job of partnering with the Salvation Army and the food banks. They know what they need, right?
Right.
So they're not going to send you off and get you whipped cream topping, marshmallow stuff or whatever. They know they need the staples.
Stuff.
They need peas, whatever.
Boxed meals, the things that somebody could take home.
Yeah.
Add a little water to it, cook it, and they have a meal if they need.
Yep, and it's not it's not going to go bad. It's not going to whatever. So
Right.
It's a great way that you do it. And you brought a little guest to
Yeah.
visit. Who is that? Just an extra prop?
It's a prop we use every year. We actually originally bought it when we used to enter the haunt in the 4th of July parade, but it just become too much.
Right.
But it's a clown, creepy clown walking staff.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of it a little bit.
I mean, you stare into its eyes. Its eyes
It's
look
creepy.
real.
Those things are legit. It's why it's back there and not up here with us. But so kind of a quick recap here. We've got, you can drop off food now at the house. So 11th Street up on the hill, you'll see it. There's a big sign.
Yeah, we got big. Right now, there's 2 purple and white and red and white striped canopy tents setting out in front. So there's a 10 by 30 foot tent altogether setting right in front. You can't miss it.
You literally can't miss it. Go ahead, drop it off. You'll get your express pass. Come back Saturday. What time do you guys?
We do have even a neater offer than just the express pass if people want to try. If instead of bringing 2 cases, if you bring 3 cases, 36 cans, you'll actually get your name in a drawing. You'll get the express pass automatically, but that 1 extra case will get you into a drawing to win a fright pass. We have 1 fright pass for 1 person. So if you drop 3 cases off, you'll get your express pass anyway, but you'll get a chance to win a drawing. And if your name is drawn, we'll let you know earlier that on Saturday. You'll be the first person through the haunt, and you'll win a free Stinky House Horrors t-shirt, and we'll do a short photo shoot in one of the rooms with one of the actors in one of the scenes.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I mean, who doesn't want to be locked up in a scene with whatever character?
Me, I'll pass. I'll pass. And we were talking before the show. I'm more of a Christmas guy, right?
Oh yeah, I love Christmas too.
I'm Jingle and Mingle. I'm the happy, Frosty the Snowman guy. I'm not so much the it guy.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you are though.
Yesterday I had my Halloween T-shirt on and my hat, and didn't realize was a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer hat. I had on all day yesterday.
Well, and it's great because a lot of this stuff, it's just about finding different ways to make people smile.
Exactly.
And give them memories. And, I don't remember who I was talking with this about, but the art center, right? When you do things as a kid and then when you revisit something similar to that as an adult, it automatically triggers those memories. And they're every time I talk to you, I think about, there used to be at Madison School when I was a kid, there was a haunted house, right?
Yep.
And that was the one we all went to as a kid. That was like our big thing. But it reminds me of like hanging out with my friends and stuff and that's just talking to you about what you're doing now brings that stuff back. And so that's what I love about like these big community events that have the staying power, because I was talking to somebody who wanted to be part of Jingle and Mingle just yesterday, and they're like, okay, I remember when I was a kid. I'm like, okay, like that, but on steroids, right? And it's kind of like you guys, you've gotten bigger and bigger, and now like yours is that big anchor thing in Halloween, and we need those things. And
a lot of like people don't realize that, especially in Muscatine. Drive around. I know there's a place, and maybe you guys can add it on, and if you haven't already. But there is a lot of really nice decorated houses in Muscatine, like Freers's. I mean, they're all over the place. There's probably about 10 of them that are just awesome. Yeah. And I'm probably the only. I got a haunted house. And I try to explain to people, I'm a haunted house. I'm not a yard walkthrough. Right. This is. It's like you won't see too many cutie things.
No, it's kind of like the old JC's ones and.
Yep. And see, I miss going to all those and everything. And you actually years ago, I was actually asked to take over, but I couldn't completely control all my help. Right. And I'm like, well, I said I already have more people that help me. There's people I have to let go or just say, hey, I don't have a spot for you, and to triple that would be a nightmare. And I'm like, I just like having full control of my thing. But
it makes sense.
It was I'm not exactly sure why they stopped doing it, but
who knows?
That's why I'm like, okay, we got to do this because we got to offer something. And I do like you pointed out earlier. There's little ones popping up. People are doing like a small little walkthrough or something at a trunk or treat or something like. I love it.
It is, and it's absolutely great because like everybody says, oh, there's nothing to do in Muscatine. There's nothing to do.
There's all kinds of things.
It's a crock of crap. Pardon my mouth, but it's a crock of crap. Like Riots and Rebels and Major Inc. did one down there, and there's literally I think I counted there was like 19 trunk or treat events. Which, if you think about it, that's counting the city's big one down at the soccer complex. But like, so you have 19 different things, and most of them are at different times. Like, you can almost like I know on this weekend you can pretty much go from like one to the next to the next to the next, and you could fill your whole weekend with trunk or treat.
And we try to tell people, we're gonna if there's people in line, if it's 11:30 at night. We're going to be there.
Yep.
If we've been sitting there for 15, 20 minutes and there's not been obviously we're going to call it quits for tonight. But it's on a Saturday this year with all the go do your trick or treat and go do your trunk or treats. Get ours and come back later. If you show up and there's people there, you're going to get to go.
You're going to get it. Yep. And so
you don't have to be there at 5 o'clock. We got people that show up at 5 o'clock, and we don't even think about letting people in until it somewhat starts getting dark.
Right. Yeah.
It get kind of ruined.
This isn't the thing that like it starts at 5. You have to be there at 5. This is you can be, casually late to this.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
We've had people show up 9:30, 10 o'clock, and that's perfectly fine. Yep.
So again, make sure you stop out and see this. Make sure you bring some food. Because it's a great experience. It's a Muscatine hallmark, and they do a tremendous job.
Oh yeah, and like right now for anybody that's getting ready, like down at our tents right now. I mean, we have T-shirts for sale, stickers.
Oh yeah, get the swag.
We got all kinds of homemade prosthetics there. I mean, we got a whole sheet of prosthetics. I mean, you name it, we got them. They're very good. They're actually. Weirdly, if you take care of them, they're actually reusable. And there's so many people that are allergic to a silicone or a latex. This has nothing in them. It's actually a watermelon product, and it's
ironically it's a watermelon product. Of course,
and that's actually what it's called. Watermelon prosthetics, and it's actually applied with 99% rubbing alcohol. Huh. You clean a little bit of rubbing alcohol. You stick. I had one on my hand. And that I put on, and I wore it to work the other day. It was on my hand for 3 days, washing my hands, everything.
I was gonna say okay.
Oh yeah, you just all over. You peel it off, and you put it in wash it, dry it off, put it in some cornstarch.
Oh yeah.
And pull it out next year. Wash it off again, and reapply. As long as you don't tear it or anything like that.
Oh, that's cool.
They're really, really cool product.
Awesome. Well, folks, I think if you haven't figured it out yet, go see Stinky's House of Horrors. Bring food. It's going to go. It's the Salvation Army gets it all from Freezing for Food, and they make sure that everything gets passed out along to everybody as it needs. So again, thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Of course. Muscatine loves it and appreciates it. I can't wait till you actually bring the food out to us at the truck this year. I'll get extra help so you don't have to move it twice.
We're still looking for a place to put it because I don't work at the same job anymore.
Oh.
So we have nowhere to store it. And it takes up a lot of room.
It does. Well, we'll figure that out.
And it has to be somewhere where there is no mice, anything.
Yeah, obviously no mice.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Muscatine, go enjoy your Halloween weekend. That's going to do it for us. If you need to know what to do, go to discovermuscatine.com/Halloween. Stinky's House of Horrors is on there. All the other stuff is there. And go have